Alright guys, so my name is Gabe Schrog, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to perform CPR on an adult. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And so I'll start by saying, did you guys know that 95% of cardiac arrest victims die prior to reaching a hospital or care facility? By performing CPR, you immediately increase that survival rate, and I personally believe that to decrease the percentage of deaths in the U.S., all you have to do is increase the number of people aware of CPR. So how do I know? I've been a lifeguard for 6 years between the public pool here in Newton and the YMCA, and I am also a certified nurse's assistant who's taken multiple emergency aid courses online and in the classroom. I believe this information is important to my audience because 70% of Americans actually feel helpless to act in a cardiac emergency, whether that is they haven't brushed up on their knowledge recently enough when it happens, or they never received the skills in the first place. And so in my demonstration, I'm going to start by discussing the acronym CAB, which stands for compressions, airway, and breathing. This was previously known as ABCs, airway, breathing, and compressions, but modern research has shown that compressions are now the most important part of CPR. So before CPR, you always need to make sure the victim is unconscious, of course. So you can do that by just tapping on the victim and asking for a response. And so after you know your victim is unconscious, like this one here, you're going to check your surroundings and call 911. You want to call 911 so that the emergency professionals are on their way and an ambulance is going to get to you as fast as they can. So to start, you want to, first comes first is chest compressions. Chest compressions deliver a small but critical amount of blood flow to the victim's heart and brain. And so to do that, you want to make sure they're on a flat surface first. That could either be a table like we're on now, or in my case, working at a pool, it's going to be the pool deck. Next, you want to kneel or stand next to the victim's neck and shoulders. So I always just have one knee next to the neck and one knee towards the midline of the chest. Once you're in a sturdy position, you want to place one palm in the middle of the chest between the nipple line, and then place the other on top. You can do that by either intertwining your fingers or just placing the hand there, either works. And so it's important to keep in mind that you want to keep your elbows locked out and your shoulders directly above the victim. So you're going to deliver 30 compressions, and that'll be at the rate of about 100 beats per minute. And so if you guys know the song Staying Alive, that's what you're about to go through. And you want to go about 2 inches depth on adults, or the general rule, whether it's a child or an adult, is to go 1/3 depth of the chest cavity. And so I'll demonstrate here. And you want to make sure you count while you do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And I've also, after chest compressions, I've also received knowledge that it's actually normal for the victim's ribs to break. Some people don't know that, but so if you're hearing cracking, you're actually doing it right. So while heart massage greatly increases the chance of survival, in drowning cases, it is often just as or more important to get oxygen to the vital organs. So you're going to do this by opening the airway, which is the A and B of CAB. So to open the airway, you're going to place your palm on the forehead of the patient, and with 2 fingers lift the chin. It's going to open the airway here. And you don't want to take any more than 10 seconds to check for signs of breathing, but you are going to do this by getting close to the victim. You're going to either feel for moisture, listen for breaths, or you can look and see if the chest cavity is rising or not. And so on our victim here, we're going to say he has no signs of breathing. So our next objective is to reopen the airway, and to deliver breaths, you want to make sure it's a tight seal by pinching the nose. And you're going to deliver 2 breaths with about 1 second in between each. So 1 second, 2 seconds. After that, you're really just going to continue the 30 compressions followed by 2 breaths, And you want to do that until either an automated external defibrillator is available, which is normally at any buildings or at pools like my workplace, or until medical professionals arrive. And that's why it's important to give them all the information they need so they can get to you. And I just want you guys to remember, so by doing CPR, you're really buying the time necessary to get help, and you can now confidently save a life, I hope. So thank you for listening.